So PHP will help us to write the logic of our programs or of our website. It's PHP that will be doing that logic. So to use PHP, you need one extra software in your program or in your computer. And that software, we always use a software called Zamp. So to install Zamp, you simply go to google.com or any search engine, and then you type there ZAMPP, Zamp, and then you'll see these search results. So what you do, you just simply click on download, and then you'll be taken to the Zamp website, and you download the latest PHP. For example, the latest one is this one, Zamp 7.4.8. So you simply click on download Zamp 7.4.8. Then it will start downloading. As you can see, mine has already started downloading here. So I just say keep the file that it should start downloading. So it is here downloading. But for me, I already have the Zamp in my computer, so I may not install it. But to install Zamp, you just let it to finish downloading, and when it finishes downloading, you just double click on it, and then you click next, and then your Zamp will complete to download. It will complete to install. In fact, let me just use let me install it. Let me wait for it to finish so that I can show you how to do what? How to install it. Let me use this fast downloader. This one's a bit slow. So my Zamp is downloading. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the video until it finishes to download, and I'll show you how to install it. Okay, our Zamp has completed downloading. So the next part is to install the Zamp in our computer. So to install the Zamp in our computer, I'll just double click on the setup file, or I can just simply click here and open where the Zamp was downloaded. To load until I see a place where it has been placed, and here's the Zamp. Okay, so I'm going to install this Zamp. So to install Zamp, just double click on the file that we downloaded, and then to bring you this option. So you have to select yes, to click on yes, and then to bring us another pop-up. So we'll wait for just a few seconds for it to process, and then to bring us a pop-up that allow us to do what? To proceed. So there it is loading. So to bring another warning, I'll just say OK, and then the next thing will be for us to install the Zamp. So to install the Zamp, you just click on next, and then we shall leave everything selected, and then you click on next. So it will tell you that it's going to install on disk C in the folder called Zamp. But for me, I already have Zamp, so I'll stop you from here. But what you do, you just say next, and then the Zamp will be able to do what? To install in your computer. But for the fact that for me I already have Zamp installed in my computer, I won't go beyond here. But the remaining steps are simple, are pretty simple. All it needs is for you to do what? To just click on next, and I'm going to show you how your folder should look like after successful installation of Zamp. Okay, so you just click on next until it's done. So what I'll do, I'll just close this Zamp because I already have it, and then I will say you want to close the process, yes. But for you, just click on next until it installs. So after successful installation, you'll have a folder on your disk C like this one. So if I come on my disk C, I'll have a folder here called Zamp, and inside this Zamp you'll have your files like these ones. So these files is where you shall be locating we shall be locating our PHP files or project files. For example, you have this file called htdocs. That's going to be our public website. I mean our public place where we'll be putting the what? Where I'll be putting our websites. Now, for example, I'm going to show you how we can do what? We can execute the files on the server, because every file that we shall be putting on the server will be executed. Otherwise, if it will be processed. Otherwise, if we don't process our files, then it will make no sense for installing what? For installing Zamp. We're installing Zamp because we want it to act as our offline server, so that everything that we put in a server, it should be processed before it is displayed on our what? On our screen. So we're going to make to give the life to our static files that they are just static. We're just going to give them what? Life. So my Zamp, I already have many Zamps, but that's how your Zamp will look like. I already have mine that I installed somewhere here. So Zamp, okay, mine is here. Okay, so my htdocs is here. So htdocs is the place where we shall be putting our website inside htdocs. So every file that we put inside the htdocs, it will be processed. Now, to access anything that is here in htdocs, we need a link, and to get that link that will access there is just we use the link called localhost. So if I put localhost, I'll be able to do what? To access my files. But before we put the localhost, we need to start the Zamp itself. To start the Zamp. Otherwise, if I don't start Zamp on my server, it will not be able to do what? To work. So to open Zamp, I'll just simply come to start here. I click on start, and then I'll be able to look for what? For Zamp, and see the Zamp is here. So I just click on Zamp control panel, and then the Zamp will be able to do what? To open. But for me, it's already there. Okay, so this is my Zamp. Okay, the software that we just installed. So to make our website, to make our computer work like servers, I need to first start the Zamp. And to start the Zamp, is here where there is Apache, is our PHP processor. Otherwise, if you don't have Apache, then you don't have a PHP processor. So I have to start this PHP processor by simply clicking on what? On start. And then I click on start. I'll just come here and type localhost, or you can simply click here on admin, then you will be taken to the PHP. So when I type localhost and press enter, don't put 8080. For me, I have 8080 for a reason. For now, you just put the word localhost. So I press localhost and enter. I'll be able to see the dashboard of my PHP admin of PHP. And then if you can see this, then it means that you have successfully installed your what? Your PHP in your computer. So right now I'm going to make a simple project that we are going to use to learn in. So I'm going to just come here to htdocs, and I'm going to navigate to my Zamp, and to navigate to the Zamp folder, there are two ways. One way is just opening your control panel, Zamp, by simply coming to start, and then just like that I've shown you, and then you click here on explore. When you click on explore, it can simply take you to a place where you can do what? You can store your project files. Now here we have a specific place where we have to store our files, not anywhere. Before, when we were dealing with HTML, we could store our files anywhere. But at this moment, we are going to store them in a specific place which will work as our server. So I'm going to click on explore to open that place. So I'll click on explore here, and I'll be taken to this place. Remember, I even showed you how to navigate to this place, okay? By simply coming to your files. And then you come to what? To C. And then you come to Zamp. And then come to what? To htdocs. But mine, I'll have to first enter here, and then you'll see. So htdocs is a place where we shall be putting our what? We shall be putting our projects. And I've shown you two ways of how to reach there. One is through using the command prompt, and the other way is through using the control panel of your Zamp, and then just click on explore, and you'll be able to do what? To reach there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to enter inside this htdocs, and this is where we shall be creating different projects of PHP. So right now I'm going to create a single project, and I'm going to call it Sumaya. No. I'm going to call it Learn PHP. Learn underscore PHP. Okay, learn PHP. So that is the folder that I'm going to be that I'm going to do what, to work with. So to access this folder, I'll just simply come and put here localhost stroke the name of the folder. Localhost stroke the name of the folder. Then I'll be able to access that folder within my website, within my browser. So you see, everything that is here has been placed here. So if I come here and put, for example, let me get one image. I put, for example, let me get here one image .png. I put maybe an image in this folder. Which image is this? Okay. Okay, just get here an image. I put inside this folder. Okay, let me get, for example, this one. Okay, I put this image in this folder. So if I come and process, you'll see that image will be listed here. So I mean that, but I did not process, I did not pass through, I did not pass directly to access this image. This image has been processed through what? Through the Zamp. So if I click on this image, you'll be able to see that image here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to stop Zamp and see if I'll be able to access it. So I'm going to first stop Apache. Okay, and you see if it will have a meaning to stop Apache. So to stop Apache, I'll just click here, and then if I process here, then you'll see they say the website cannot be found. If I pass through Zamp, and then the website, I'll see the website cannot be found. So I'm going to create a very simple file. That's the first thing. So it means that to process a PHP file on Zamp or on our server, this Apache must be started. Otherwise, if it's not started, then we cannot be able to process. So this Apache is just like our local server. I'm going to open this project and put there a simple file. So a PHP file, or a file that will have PHP code, it must have an extension of PHP. So I'm going to right click here and create that file, or I can just simply open this folder within my text editor. To do that, I'll just come and open here my Sublime Text. I'll open new instance by pressing Ctrl-Shift-N, and I'll get the new instance of Sublime Text. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to this folder, then I'll drag and drop this folder here. You remember, you see, this is htdocs and this is our folder learn PHP. So I'll drag and drop it here, and then I'll be able to see all my files listed here. Even the image that I copied there is there. So here I'm going to create a what? I'm going to create a PHP file. So to create a PHP file, I'm going to call it 1.php. Just for testing. Or I'm going to call it test.php. So to create a PHP file, I just say save, Ctrl-S, and then I'll come to the folder that I'm working with, which is here, htdocs, and I'll come to learn PHP, and under there I'm going to put this file that I'm working with. So I'm going to say test.php. Okay, so if I put test.php, I'll see my PHP file there. I'll see my PHP file. I can say this is a PHP file. So if I save, Ctrl-S, then I come and then I refresh, I'll be able to see this test file. So I mean that if I put here stroke test.php, I'll be able to see this is my PHP. This is a PHP file. Okay, but here there is no PHP code. Okay, so to write PHP code, it must be first inside the file with the extension of .php. Remember, I can put here any file of any kind of extension. It can be .php, .html, anything. Okay, but for a PHP code to work, first of all, the extension must be .php. Otherwise, if the extension is not .php, then the code will not work of PHP. So I want to put here the code of PHP. So to put the code of PHP, first of all, you must surround it with a PHP tag. So you can simply write PHP tag and press the tab key, or you manually write it by simply writing the less than sign and put a question mark and write the word PHP. And then to close it, just put and close like this, question mark, and then the greater than sign, and then between there you can write your PHP code. So here I can write, outside this code, I can write anything that I want. Okay, here it is working outside the code, but inside the PHP tags, I cannot write anything that I want. I must follow the syntax of PHP. For example, you can see here, I've tried to put anything without considering the syntax inside the tags of PHP. So what should you expect? We should expect a what? An error. You can see we have got errors that are warning us that what we did was not right. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to just display something in PHP using PHP. So to display something using PHP, you cannot say, for example, my name is maybe Mohindo. So this is no, with HTML this is the right way. You can do it like this. With HTML, for example, I can put this one. This is okay with HTML. But in PHP, that's not allowed. For example, I cannot do like this. It's not allowed. So I want to present this using PHP. So if you want to present something inside using PHP, you have to use the word echo or the keyword echo. So when you use keyword echo, and then you can pass a string that you want to present. So I can put double quotes, which is to represent a string, and then I put there whatever I want to represent. And at the end of the line, I must put a what? A semicolon. So by doing this, I will have echoed my name through the PHP. So if I come and refresh, you can see there is no change, but we know this one comes from PHP. I can as well first store this name, intro, inside what? Inside a variable. In PHP, to create a variable that you can reuse later, you begin with the what? With a dollar sign. For example, I can say this is, and then put the what? The name of the variable. For example, I can say intro is equal to, my name is Mohindo Mubarak, and then I can put comma, I am maybe 25 years old. Okay, so that can be just a simple intro. Now if I do like this, it will not do anything. Why? Because I have not echoed it. If I want to echo it, I can just copy this and then I come down here and say echo intro. So by echoing intro means that I am printing this intro, or I'm displaying it. So if I refresh here, you see my name is Mohindo, I'm 25 years old. Okay, so this file has been processed through PHP. Now what do you mean by saying processing? So if you want to process a file, you must first pass through what? Through Zamp, just like the way I have told you, through localhost. But if you don't want to process a file, you can just simply drag and drop it in the browser and be able to do what? To see the file. So what I'm going to do right now, this file is being processed. Let us see the difference, like a file which is processed and the one that is not processed. If I pass through localhost, it is processed. Remember, I can simply get this file through this folder, learn PHP, and then this is the file, test.php. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag and drop it into our browser. Drag and drop it there. So can you see? This is a file that is not processed because I've just opened it directly. And you can see we are having things like intro, my name is Mohindo Mubarak, and then echo this, and then the PHP tags are there. This thing is not processed because you can see it is having no meaning. In fact, like it is not processed, you can see, but here you can see the file is really processed. Okay, because let me try to show you. Let me, for example, I can say age, maybe last age. I can say last age is equal to maybe 24, and then I can say this age, current age. I want to do something that will do some processing. Current age is equal to what? Is equal to last age plus 1. Okay, so current age is equal to last age plus 1. So to concatenate something in PHP, if I want to add there something, I can just, if I want to combine something, I just put this curly bracket and I pass there the name of the variable. Then whatever I pass there, the name of the variable, it will be substituted. So let us see now. For a processed file, you see, I am 25 years old because it just got this 24 and added 1 and it substituted it here, then it became 25 years old. But this file that I just drag and drop into the browser without being processed, you can see there's nothing that has been processed. Last age is 24, current age is last plus 1, and then my name is this and this, and then you can see nothing has been processed. Why? We did not pass through the local host. So that's why we need Zamp to be processing our PHP code. That's why we need Zamp to be processing our PHP code. Okay, so after doing that, I hope you're getting. So after doing that, then mean that this is a processed file, this is the unprocessed file. So it means that if we want to make sense of our code, we must pass through what? Through localhost. And to enable localhost, I must have Zamp installed and the Apache started. Otherwise, if Apache is not started, then our localhost will not make a meaning and then it will be stopped. So it will be like our offline server. So I'm going to start Apache again, and then you'll see the file is working. So that's a processed file of PHP. Now that's a simple introduction to PHP. So what you're going to do right now, we are going to follow the syllabus of W3 schools. So I'll just search PHP W3 schools. Then shall come to learn PHP with W3 school tutorial. So I already gave you the introduction of PHP. I've already shown you how to install PHP using Zamp. I've already shown you the syntax of PHP, that we must have opening bracket and closing, and then maybe commenting, and every line must end with a what? With a semicolon. Okay, every line must end with a semicolon. And if I want to comment something, I just put this double slashes, then it will be commented, and that line will have no effect inside our project. Okay, it is case sensitive. For example, if I have for example last age and another one is last age, these two variables are not the same. That's what is meant by case sensitive. So you can just come and read along this theory part. I'll not concentrate there. Okay, so commenting, you can also come and read it by yourself. You just put a hash, or you can put double slashes, or you can comment a group by putting forward slash with a star, and then you close with a star and a forward slash. Then to be able to do what? Comment a block of what? Of lines. So we begin with what? With variables. So I'm going to create a file for PHP variables. So to create a new file, I'll just simply press Ctrl N. Ctrl N, I'll be able to create a new file, and then I'll save it by just pressing Ctrl S, and then I'll call it variables. Let me call it one_variables. I'm giving it ones that I should know the order that I'm following. php.php. So all your PHP files should have extension of .php. Otherwise, if it does not have .php, then it will have no meaning. So I'll simply come here to localhost, and then remove this test.php, and then I'll have that simple and empty folder. So inside here, I'm going to start practicing what is variable. So to create a variable in PHP, just like the way I told you, you just put a $sign and then the name of that variable, and you'll be able to do what? To create that variable. It is not so sensitive like C++, like C programming, that you have to specify whether it's an integer or what. No, in PHP it's just simple. You just begin PHP and then say, I can say here name is equal to, then this is a string by putting double quotes, maybe Bira Halima, and then at the last it must have a semicolon. Okay, so What else I can say? Country is equal to Kenya. Okay, so those are two variables, and I can put maybe weight is equal to 20, maybe 48, 49. So those are what? Those are variables. I can even put 0.0. So it doesn't matter whether it is a float or what. So if I want to combine these things, I can just simply say echo. I just put a string. My name is. So if I want to concatenate the name, I will use dot to concatenate. You shall look at it, but just for now, know that we use dot to attach another string. My name is name. I then put dot, comma. I come from. Then I put dot, and I put what? Country. Put dot to concatenate, comma. I say I weigh. I hope that's the spelling of weigh. And then put dot, and then put the what? The variable of weight. And then put dot, put kgs, put semicolon at the last. So if I come and refresh, you can see we have made the sense out of the different variable that we created. So my name is that, I come from that, I weigh this. You see, variables, you don't need to write too much complicated things. Just $sign with the name of the variable, and then you initialize it with whatever you want. Whether it's a string, surround with double quotes. If it's a integer or float, just give the value, and those variables will take care of themselves. So we have these are the simple rules that we have to follow when creating variables. Rule number 1: every variable must start with a $sign. Rule number 2: a variable must start with the underscore or a character. You cannot start with another funny thing, like every variable must start with either underscore and put some other thing, or a character like this. That's how we create names of variable. You cannot create a name of variable and say $sign then star. No. The only character that's allowed to be used, or $sign minus, or $sign hash, no, or $sign number. The only character that is allowed to be used while naming the variable is the underscore. Okay, is the underscore. The rest are banned. So you can use underscore, and then you use alphabets from alphanumeric from A to Z, and from 0 to 1. And remember, I cannot begin with a what? With a numeric value. For example, I cannot say the name of the variable is 0 and name. This is not allowed. But I can say the name of the variable is name 0. That's allowed. So that's how we name and create variables. So that's how we do it. That's how we create variables. And these are the rules that you follow while creating variables. So echo and print, I've already shown you that. Like echo, you will use it to print something or to display, to make something display on the screen. Also, print will also use for the same task, to display something on what? On the screen. It will be used to display something on the screen. So I already explained these things. For babies, I don't need to be here. This is done, okay? For echo and print, just you can use print or you can use echo. They just do the same task, okay? So you come to data types in PHP. So you have different data types. We have a string, that is a group of text of characters. Then we have an integer, those are counting numbers. We have a float, the numbers with decimal point. We have a boolean, a number which is either true or false, or a variable that is either true or false. We have array, a group of variables, or a group of values is called a what? Array. We have an object, we have a null, and a what? And a resource. So we shall look at some To create, we can, for example, look at the string. So to create a string, let me just open this other file. So I just say Ctrl+N, Ctrl+S, and I'll name this one as what? As 2 underscore php data types dot php. I save it, and then after I'll have to start my PHP, and then I'm going to do what? To get the name of this file, and then come and paste it here. So there we go. So to create a string, I just simply say $sign name. Or I can say okay, $sign title, and then I put double quotes to create a string. I can say introduction to C++. So that's it, the title, and then it is now what? A string. As well, I can use single quotes. Okay, so I can as well use single quote and say author. Okay, author is equal to single quote, maybe Danish-Canadian. Okay, so that's the author. Okay, so both of these is allowed, but as we proceed, we shall see the exact difference between this single quote and double quote. But both of them, as per now, it is allowed. So I can reuse them by simply say echo title, and then I can concatenate there. Can put here by concatenate what? Author. So it will be the book title by the book author. So if I come and refresh, we shall have something, Introduction to C++ by Danish-Canadian. So that's how you create what? That's how you create variables. So to create integers, you just equate it to an integer. Okay. And another thing in PHP, if you want to see the data type of a certain value, we can use var dump. Okay, you can use var dump. So if I want to see whether it's a string or an integer, I can just use variable dump by just putting var underscore dump, DUMP, and then pass whatever I want to dump there. Okay, for example, I can dump this author. So if I come and refresh, they'll give me all the information about the author. You can see it is a string of 13 characters, but you can see it is a what? It is a string of 13 characters, and here they show me the values inside this string. For example, if I come and put title here and a var dump, they'll tell me the type of this variable. It is a string of what? Of 19 characters. Okay, the string of 19 characters. So we use var dump to check what is the exact data type of a certain variable. For example, if I come here and create maybe price and say price is equal to 499. So if I come and dump price, remember price did not put in quotes. So if I come and dump price, let us see what will have the data type for price. So if I come dump price, then come refresh, then we'll have, it is an what? It is an integer. But before it was showing it was a what? It was the others were strings. But here we can see clearly how it is an integer. So to create an integer, we just equate it to any integer. Otherwise, if I put 99.0, then it's no longer an integer, but it is a what? It is a float of value 499. It is a what? It is a float of values 499. So after doing that, we're going to proceed. I've checked that data types. I can as well create another data type here. I can say is happy, and then I just say is happy, and then equate it to false, just a false without any quote. Okay, So this one is a what? Is a boolean. Okay, is a what? Is a boolean. So she is happy, and then I just come and dump is happy. You'll see it is a what? It's a boolean, bool, which is either true or false. We can as well force something to be another thing by the use of what? Of typecasting. By the use of typecasting. For example, if I have this Dennis Ritchie, I can put here 1990. Okay, maybe that's when he wrote the what? The author, I mean the book. So if I come here and dump this one, okay, I'll have a what? A string 1990. Okay, but here there is a 1990 which is there. If I come and put here, maybe the year of production is equal to the author, just the author. Can you see? And then me dump there. So what should you expect? We should expect, of course, a string, because it is the author. I mean the year is the author. So if I want to typecast it, like change it to integer, I'll just simply put here int like this. Okay, so it will be forced to be changed to integer. I can as well also pass this one in another bracket. Let me see. Can you see? It's an integer of 0. It is an integer of 0. But if I begin here with like 1990 and then put days in Ritchie, so you can see it is an integer of 1990. So if you want to force something to another thing, or to get the possible outcome of that value to another data type, we just put a bracket of a data type that you want. For example, I can say int character, int float, int structure, int string, and then they will be changed to those data type that we want. That's what we call what? Typecasting. Typecasting. That's what we call what? Typecasting. Okay, that's how we typecast something. Okay, that's done. We proceed to array. Okay, so as we said before, that an array in PHP is a group of what? A group of variables, or a group of values. For example, if I want to store from 1 to 10, I can simply say, and to create an array in PHP, you just say $, for example, my array is equal to, you have to put array like this, array, then you array, and then you open the what? The bracket, and start passing the values that you want to pass to that that array. For example, I can say this array is having green, I put a comma, and I put this array is having black, and then I put a comma, it's having magenta, put a comma, and it's having what? Cyan. So if I come and dump the data type of this one using what? var dump, it should tell us that it's a what? It's an array. Var dump, and then I dump my r, I will see the data type is of array. So array is also another data type. So you can see it is an array of 4 characters, and these are the characters that are there. We're having a string of 5, and the string of 5 is so here we'll just break everything for you so that you should understand what is inside there. That's how we know the data type of any variable that we want to use in PHP. We use var dump. So we begin with strings themselves, the data type of strings. So I'll come here and create a what? PHP strings. So string is just a group of text. So let me create a new file. I'll just call it file number 3 underscore strings.php. Okay, I rename my first that my code should be organized. You can see it is being organized, and here we are at 3. Otherwise, if I don't renumber them, if I don't number them, then my projects will be disorganized. I will not know where I started from and where I am at. So if I press enter, that's it, a PHP file. So let us start creating a string. A string is just a what? A group of character. So, and we have a lot of functions in PHP that can help us to deal with what? With strings. So I'll begin my PHP, and the function that we're going to begin with is the function that will help us to tell how long is a string. So to get this, I can say what else? Product name is equal to Dell computer or Dell desktop computer. Okay, so that's my string. So if I want to know the size of this string, I just simply say echo. Then you have a function called strlen. strlen will tell us how long a string is. Okay, so it is an inbuilt PHP function. Okay, strlen. I'll just pass the string between here. Okay, right? I write strlen, and then here between there's a curly bracket. Then I pass the string between. Then I put a semicolon, and I save. So if I come and refresh, you see we're having 21. And if I come and put here full stop, it will tell us that we're having 22 characters in the string that we created and checked here. So that is one function of PHP that will help us to tell how long a string is. Okay, maybe you can use it to validate, like if you don't allow names which are having more than 20 characters, or if you don't allow anything that is either less long or more than a certain length. We can use that str length to judge and tell how long a string is. So we have str word count. This str word count will help us to tell how many words are inside a string. Okay, so if I come and pass here str word count, it's supposed to tell us how long it is. So if I come and refresh, how many words that there? You can see here we are having 3 words. Dell desktop computer, and then it will tell you how many words are there. str word count. For example, if you don't want to allow space in a program that you're making, for example in usernames, you don't want to allow a username with a space, so you can count using str word count. And in case you find the str word count is having more than 1 word, then you can know that the user has included the what? A space, and then take a right decision that you want to. So that's str word count, and there are so many string functions, so many string functions that can help us to deal with what? With strings. If you want to learn more about these string functions, just come and see under here in the reference, and then come to what? To string. Can you see here? And you'll find other millions, not millions, but other functions that can help us to deal with strings. String add slashes, string chop, string char, all this, join, lc fast, itrim, mod 5, money format, all these, str pause, str reverse, str break, str. So you can come and read all these ones that will help you to deal with your with strings inside your project. But for me, I will not concentrate on all of them. We have str reverse. For example, I can use str reverse. Let me just show you for the last time. Str reverse to reverse a word. Okay, so it's used to reverse a word. So I can just say echo str rev underscore str reverse. Okay, so it will take a string that you want to reverse. So if I put like this, you will see it has reversed our what? Our string. For example, if I pass someone's name here, So if I pass someone's name here, you can see that is how ugly it will look if you do what? You begin with the last letter. So that is str reverse. There are so many functions. So get a time, come and play with this function and get them at your fingertips. Okay, word wrap and the rest. Str token, str position, str find, str length, str. So come and play with these ones. Okay, for me, I've just introduced them to you, and it will be upon to you to either come and play with them or not. They are pretty simple to use. So I've looked at str reverse. We have looked at word count, and we have looked at what? At strlen. So you can also come here in the reference, under in the RWC schools here in bottom reference, and learn more about the strings. They are really important because every program is made of strings. Okay, we proceed. We go to the next thing, and those are what? Those are numbers. Small things. Numbers. So in numbers, I'll not practice too much here. It's just like you can have integer, and I've already shown you how to initialize an integer, which is just this simple program. And you can come and learn more how long a number is, how short a number is. But here I'll just assume that you understood everything in numbers. There's nothing to do here. It's just like x is equal to a certain number, and then this is a what? This is a float. I've already talked about float, so let us save our time. In mathematics, here in math, we have functions that will help us to get values. So let me open and save new file by just simply pressing Ctrl N and Ctrl S, and then I say number what? That was number 4 underscore php math dot what? Dot php. That's the name of my file. So if I come and open this file, nothing is there. So what we're going to do, we are going to use these files of PHP to get, for example, the pi. So to get the pi, I just simply say PHP echo pi function, and this pi function will help me to get the mathematical pi that we know, the value of a pi. You can see 3.141. Okay, so you have other cool functions such as the max and the min. This maximum can help us to find the maximum number in a certain array or in certain values, and the min will help us to find a minimum number in a certain value. You can see this one, for example. Here, if we pass, for example, echo, comment this, and you come and pass here, echo, and then I pass 33, 22, and I pass this, I pass this, and then I pass 9, and then I say what? I say max. Okay, so this one will come and search for us the maximum value from that kind of array or data, and return for us the maximum value. So we don't need to hassle so much finding out what is maximum, what is minimum. So we come to minimum. You can also try that by yourself. So you come to constants. So these constants, they are values that we define once in PHP, and we cannot change them inside the same file. Okay, we just define them one time, and then we cannot reuse them in the same file. As you can see here, we are defining a greeting, and then we are able to reuse it. Okay, let me just create this one more file. Just simply Ctrl N, Ctrl S, and then it will be 5 underscore .php. Okay, so I'll begin PHP I'll begin PHP. After doing that, I will do what? Define. Okay, let us define now a variable by just simply putting define, and then here I put the name of the variable that we want to use in our file. For example, I can say base URL, so that it is going maybe to be the link of our website, and I don't want to change it either by accident or by intention. So to do that, I'll just define that link here. Maybe I can say https www.ugnews24.info. Okay, so by doing like that, we shall have defined that variable. So if I want to use that variable, I just simply say echo base URL. Okay, I don't need even to put a $sign. Then if you come and refresh, I'll have to copy this file name, and then I'll come to my browser, place it there, see, and here we don't even put a $sign. So if we come and change it, maybe base underscore URL, come and refresh, it will bring a what? It will bring a warning. But if it, you see, it's the same name but different cases. So if I wanted to allow different cases for even the same variable, I'll have to pass here true, I think, true, and then it will allow even, you see, it will allow even capital letters. So when you pass here true, it will be case sensitive. It will not be case sensitive. But if you don't pass true, the value that will have defined, or the variable that will have defined, it will be really case sensitive. So if I try to change it, for example, I say is equal to, you cannot change it. Okay, it's just like a number that you cannot change. A number, you cannot change it. You see, it will not allow that shit. Okay, so I can reuse it, but I cannot change it. So that's how we define a variable and make it a constant. We can also define a constant of arrays, or I can define a what? A constant of an array, or array in form of a what? In form of constant. It's also allowed by just simply passing the name and then passing the what? The values, as you can see here. The name, and then you open this square bracket and then start passing the values of those constants. Okay, so that's how we can define constants. So we proceed. Should I define for you constant of array? Okay, let me define it for you. I just simply say define and then I'll pass here the name of the variable. We can say girls, then pass here comma, then put this curly bracket, so it's going to be an array. So put curly bracket and then start passing the values. Okay, I can say here Jane, comma, Joan, comma, Juliet. And then lastly, maybe Joy. So here I'll define an array in form of what? In form of constant. So if I want to reuse it, I just simply say echo, maybe I say echo and I put what? And I put girls here, and I specify which girl I want, maybe girl 3, and then I'll be able to get that girl 3. Let me come and refresh. You see, it is bringing the girl in position 4, which is 3 according to array. Okay, so it means that you can also as well define what? Define we can as well define arrays to be constants. So lastly, we look at operators. These operators, we have arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, increment and decrement logic, and array operators. We shall look at this one in the next class. So at this moment, you can first do what I've done. Install Zamp. After installing Zamp, try to pass through the code that I've done, or try to follow W3 Schools. Of course, my code, I will attach it in the description of this video, and try to follow W3 Schools to do what? To implement different exercises that are there. Okay, so in the next class we shall start straight away. From operators we come to if conditions, switch cases, loops, functions, and then form handling and the rest. So I hope you'll not miss in that next class.